darlings, welcome back to a new video. Today's video is a bit different than the videos that I have done before. So I decided that I will be teaching you how to design lolita dress. And I'm going to show you the process, how I usually go through in my design process. What are the things that you need to take into consideration when you are starting to design a lolita piece. I have this one fabric that I have had for I think 6 years now, and I haven't really had the time to create anything out of it yet. I know that I will at some point do it, but I don't know when, and now the time has come and I'm gonna show it to you just in a second. It's this macaron themed cotton flannel, and I have about 2 meters of this. Usually when I make dresses like these, I usually take about 1.5 meters or 2 meters depending on the style, whether if it has sleeves or not. The series will be 2-parter or maybe 3-parter. I'm not sure how many or how long this will take me, so I am prepared for 3 videos, but I will try to make them fit into 2 videos. I hope you're going to enjoy this journey with me. Hey darlings, it's another day since filming the introduction and everything like that, and I'm actually here to discuss about the design choices of your dress. So what you need to consider when starting to design your own dress. Sometimes I do get inspired by the material. Sometimes when I go to a fabric store and I see a nice print, I'm like, okay, this would make a lovely skirt or lovely dress or something like that. So there are different kinds of starting points for the design process. When it comes to my preferences, I do prefer JSKs because they are more like versatile. I have my sketchbook right here, and I'm just starting to like list things that are important to me. So I want it to be a JSK. So JSK. I do want the dress to have cupcake silhouette because that's just something that I prefer more. JSK and a cupcake shape are probably the most important things that you need to choose, whether if you want to have a skirt, JSK or OP, or whether if you want to have a cupcake silhouette or an A-line silhouette. Then I usually start off with just like drawing the silhouette of the dress. So because it's JSK, I'll just draw the bodice here. I don't consider all the seams and such or the details at this point. I'll just draw the silhouette because I want it to just start forming in my head. When it comes to a cupcake shape, it's you can either gather the hem or you can pleat it. So when you are drawing your sketch, you might want to consider whether if you want pleats or gathers. I have chosen gathers for this dress. So next up is to choose the cut of the dress. Probably first you should consider whether if you want to have like high-waisted or normal-waisted or low-waisted dress. Then probably the hardest part for me is to choose the cut of the bodice, where I want my like breast darts and such to be. For this I usually just go to Pinterest or Lolliberry or something like that to look another dresses that are created and designed and see how they have solved the problem, and then just kind of like choosing the best one from there. So I'm just gonna go and check Pinterest here. But for example, in this one that I'm wearing, it doesn't have any seams here, like vertical seams. It has like one, let me just show you a bit. It has like a horizontal
seam here, and then the breast dart or like the bust dart comes from here and then just stops at the waist. So there are different kinds of options for you to decide. I will show you how to do the bodice alterations for your pattern. Also deciding what kind of details you want to add to the seams, whether if you want them just to be normal seams, nothing extra there, or if you want to add some lace to it. You probably should consider it already at this point, so you know and prepare for that sort of thing. Okay, I have decided which kind of cut I want for my dress. I decided to go with the pretty basic cut, so that it has the like vertical seams here, but I wanted to actually try out the like front lacing kind of detail to it, kind of like in the Eternal Rose Bouquet. It has like crisscrossing like sateen ribbon here, and I was thinking that I could do it with lace or ribbon. I'm not sure yet which one I'm gonna choose, but anyway, I will do that sort of like lacing detail there. I will show you my sketch in a second, and then probably some lace to the like connection seams. And also remember to consider the back side of your dress. Do you want to have shirring to it? Shirring is actually very easy to make, so it's not that complicated to include. It does require a bit more time when making the dress, but it's gonna be worth it if you just like, if your size changes or something like that, it's gonna be useful feature. Then I'm just gonna add some lace to the hemline of the dress, and probably some tiny little lace on the like on the edge of the bodice too, and some lace also on the straps on the like outer side of the strap. I'm not a big fan of waist ties, so I'm gonna probably leave them out. And yeah, I think we might be actually pretty close to done, except that I want to make one humongous waist bow. Here we go. This is the sketch that I came up with. Here are the list that I wanted. So it's JSK, the texture is new, and the cupcake shape is very important to me. So those are the kind of like guidelines that help me to decide what kind of dress that I want to make. Then when it comes to this design, I decided to have the crisscrossing lacing detail in the front, and I have shirring in the back. The shape is cupcake. There is some lace on the hemline, also on the bodice edge, and also on the straps, and some lace also on the connection seams on the front. On the back, I might add them too, but I don't think it's that important to have them there because it's less visible. And then I have the separate waist bow that I can add here, or probably also here. I might do, if I have enough fabric, I might do a head bow and some like smaller bows so that I can just style the dress better. But that we will see in the end when I'm done with the dress.
Hey darlings, welcome back to my video that is still going on. I have a couple of examples what kind of pattern you are supposed to be looking. So I decided to use commercial patterns here because they are easier to kind of like for everybody to come across with, so that like if I would teach you how to make the pattern yourself, it would take a lot of time. I might do a video at some point about like pattern drafting and that kind of things, but like I wanted to keep it quite simple this time. But I have found a couple of examples of patterns that you are going to be looking at when you're trying to find a good pattern for the bodice of the lolita dress. These are especially for Finnish people who are watching this video. These are good examples, but they are not like, you don't have to use these exact patterns. You can just keep an eye out for similar looking patterns as I'm going to show you. I'm using Suuri Käsityö, 2017 issue 4, and there is actually address number 1 is looking like this. So as you can see, it has like a waist cut. Is a cut in on the waist, and then it has the like darts going to the side. This is really good and low effort pattern that you could use for a lolita dress. You need to cut the pattern so that you would kind of like cut the shoulder part and the neckline so that it's much lower going around here, and then just sew on straps, and that would be it. The same goes for the back side, so that just like around the armhole, just straight line across to the other side would make it work. So this is one example. You only need the bodice pattern, and then you can just modify it and draw it and then cut it. But yeah, this is one, and the other one is from Ottobre design. This is from 2019, and this is the spring summer, it says issue 2, and it's actually this dress that is on the cover, because it's kind of like a shirt dress. Here we can see the pattern. It has waist cuts, yet again, that's good. It saves a lot of time if you use a pattern that has cut on the waist. And this actually, it has buttons on the front, so you can use that if you want some buttons on the front of your dress. Then it has the bust dart on this side, which is very normal for patterns to have the bust dart over here. It's very like invisible in that spot, so it would go perfectly with Lolita fashion or Lolita dresses as well. Cut or the like style of the dress is a bit loose, and you might need to take in on the side seams, or then just like make little darts on the waist here. Oh, let me so you need to kind of like pinch the fabric here and just like sew a straight kind of like darts to take in the looseness of the fabric there. You can also use corset patterns. They are pretty good. I wouldn't choose corset pattern that is very like restricting on the waistline, or like very like that it cinches in your waist, because then it will be too tight to be a Lolita dress. Or unless if that's what you want, then you can take that kind of pattern. But yeah, I'm gonna be using this pattern, and let's see how we're going to do. I am going to take out the button panel here, and I'm just gonna take it on fold so that the kind of like the center front piece is intact. When you're starting to cut or like draw the patterns, you need to know which size you are going to be needing. So usually on magazines such as these, or for like separate patterns, you usually have a table that says all of the measurements, and it's better to take a bit larger size if you're not sure, because then you can always just like make it smaller. So yeah, I'm gonna draw the patterns, and I am going to cut everything, and I'm gonna show you how to kind of like modify the pattern too. So I have here, this is the front and this is the back piece, and I'm gonna modify the back piece first. I didn't even bother to draw the whole pattern for the back, because we are only going to need this section here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to measure approximately how high up this is. There's 15
So it's about 16.5 centimeters, and I'm gonna measure 16.5 centimeters here. There's 15 and 1.5. So all the way from the armpit, or like the side seam area here, to the center back, like this. And then you're just gonna cut this piece out. In my dress that I designed, I have basically I have 3 back pieces. I have the back side piece, and then I have the center back piece that has the shirring on it. So I'm gonna just draw a line here, and I'm gonna cut these 2 pieces separately. So this is the center back piece that will have the shirring. I will write, actually I have the marking here, so it's center back. Now I'll put here back side piece. So now I have marked it so that I know which piece is which, and I'm just going to cut these pieces out from here. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to measure from the waistline all the way up where I want my neckline to be. And how you can do this is to measure from your natural waistline up to your chest area or your bust area, and see how high up you want the neckline to be. So for example, in my case, the measurement is 22 centimeters. I'm gonna, just in case, I'm gonna add a couple more centimeters. So I'm just gonna make it 24, okay? So 24 centimeters from the waistline, just to be safe, so that I will not cut too much out of the fabric. I'm just gonna draw a straight line towards the armhole here. I would maybe curve this edge here or this corner so that it's not as spiky, because you are going to attach the straps somewhere around here, so you can also add them here, but then they might fall off your shoulders if you put them there. But just kind of like curve this so that it kind of like looks pretty. I'm going to divide the front piece into 3 parts, likewise in the back. So I have center front piece that is cut on fold, and then I have 2 side panels. I'm also gonna measure approximately on my body how wide I want the shirring panel to be, and I think 12 centimeters is okay, so I divided by 2, which is 6 centimeters. Actually, I wanted to add a little side note here before I end this video. Remember to add seam allowance to your pattern pieces. You can either add them to the paper version so that you don't need to think about the seam allowance when you're cutting the fabric, or you can just add it in your head when you're cutting the pieces, so that you just like imagine where the 1 centimeter seam allowance goes, and just cut it with extra 1 centimeter on each side, except from the front, center front and center back pieces, because those you are going to cut on fold, so that you don't need to add seam allowance there.
Thank you so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about the end result or the design of the dress, and let me know if you have any feedback for me, how to develop this kind of video, and what you would maybe wish for me to do in the future too, because I am open for suggestions too. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see next time. Bye!